The holidays are coming up, and with that, gift giving is generally considered what happens during the holidays. And I am here to give you ideas and suggestions for the upcoming holiday season for gift givings for people who enjoy video games and some technology stuff too, hampered in there as well. Now, these are going to be in a list format, but they're not going to be necessarily one is better than the other. It really depends on the type of person you're going for, and we're going to be explaining why I think it's a good gift for that type of person or group of people in general. So, the very first gaming gift I think you should be looking at is, of course, the brand new Switch 2 system. Especially if you're looking at a family or a young family, the Switch 2 is basically the go-to family thing, especially considering how, Nintendo has been very family friendly. Most of the Nintendo games are very family friendly. So we're going to be talking about some of their games coming up soon as well. So the Switch 2 system itself is very good and very nice. It's also a handheld system, also a dock, so you don't always have to have it set up to the TV if the kids want to just walk around and play with it. Whether they be very young kids or elementary school kids, I think it'd be good to get them. The only problem with the Switch 2 is its price. It's $629.96 right now, Canadian dollars, on Amazon right now, as speaking to this moment. And so I can understand it being a little on the pricier side, but it is a gift that keeps on giving. You can constantly get things for it. Just before we get into the rest of the items, I would like to remind everyone, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate it if you do. Like the video if you like this type of content. It'll let me know if you want me to make more of these types of videos. Dislike it if you dislike it. I completely understand. Comment down below what you guys think would be the coolest gift to give for a gaming friend or gaming relative. Now, moving on to the game for the Nintendo Switch. Now, you could go for two different games, really. Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a great game, $99.96. Unfortunately, that is what the games cost for the Nintendo Switch, for Canada at least. So it is, once again, a little bit on the pricey side, but unfortunately, many things are on the pricey side nowadays. And Donkey Kong Bonanza is a really fun game. It was made by the people who made Super Mario Odyssey. If you know that game, it's the same team that made that. A smaller team, but the same people from that team. And it's a really fun game. I think it would be a lot of interesting fun. You can also play co-op mode too. There's a two-player co-op, so if you're wanting to play with a kid that isn't as gaming friendly, so he doesn't have to control, they don't have to control like a character. Donkey Kong, you can be the girl on Donkey Kong's back, basically, and you can do a little fun thing. It kind of reminds me of the co-op mode from Super Mario Galaxies, if you remember that from the Wii. And the other game, of course, is if you want to try to get your best thing out of the Switch 2, you can also get the bundle with Mario Kart World. And Mario Kart, it's a Mario Kart game. If you know you've seen Mario Kart, 100% you know what Mario Kart is. They did change some things with the whole open worldness, but honestly, the best thing about Mario Kart is the tracks. It's the Mario Kart racing. It's the same Mario Kart. And for the most part, it is still just the same game. Everyone really likes it. It's just the same game. Unfortunately, once again, if you want to get it separately, is the $100 Canadian, basically, with taxes and stuff. So it is, unfortunately, once again, AAA games, unfortunately, are kind of expensive nowadays. But still, a really good game. Now, moving on to, maybe it is not kids you're looking to buy stuff for, you're more looking for teenagers, young adults, or maybe the kids just like, no, Nintendo's a baby's game. They're a baby console. They don't want that type of stuff, which is understandable. I understand. I was in that phase as well, even though I enjoy Nintendo games still. If they are a already Xbox owner, buying them some Xbox Game Pass is probably one of the better things you can do for a person who owns it. So if you know they own an Xbox and they don't already own Xbox Game Pass, gifting them a subscription or a gift card time for their Xbox Game Pass would be a really good, useful thing because it is relatively cheap. It's way more cheaper than all the previous things I just said. And it also gives them access to so many games. So there'll be so many things to choose from, and you don't have to worry about picking a specific game. It's almost similar to buying someone a gift card, basically. So, if unless you have no gift card policies, I can understand there are no gift card policies that a lot of people have. So maybe you can't be able to do that. So if you can't do gift card policies and you are okay with spending a little bit more money, if they are an Xbox gamer, the Rogue Xbox Ally is the mobile version of the Xbox, basically. It is a mobile gaming console. Now, it is expensive. So maybe this is like a group gift, kind of similar to the Switch 2 like we are talking about. But this console, it works perfectly well. It is a good system. It runs well, very good reviews. It has a decent battery life, decent specs. It plays basically all the games you want it to play. And if they already own the Xbox Game Pass, it is a system that will use it. Though it is quite expensive, $7.99 on Amazon as well. So once again, maybe a group gift if you wanted to all pitch in for something or something like that. Because once again, a little expensive, but a really good system. Now, if you want to go on the cheaper side and they are no longer a Xbox gamer or they are more PC centric, the Steam Deck is a amazing piece of hardware, and $3.99 20 Canadian for the lower version, though it is on sale right now, currently recording. It's normally $4.99, but it is still much cheaper, and it is basically a mobile console for PC using your Steam software and the Steam OS, and it is a amazing piece of hardware. 1280 by 800 LCD display, good battery life. The biggest difference between the Rogue Xbox Ally X and the Steam Deck, other than the Switch 2, is there is no dock. It is a mobile only console, though it can play all of your PC games for the Steam Deck. And honestly, the Rogue Xbox Ally could also play PC games, I'm pretty sure, honestly. Though that one might have to be, you might do some fandangling with it because you need to use the Xbox app and stuff like that. So the Steam Deck is a great piece of hardware, and it runs really well. Even if you are buying the lower models, you still have the lower models. It's mostly about the screen quality and it's a slightly smaller screen. So the screen is LCD instead of OLED, which, is for most people isn't that big of a deal. And the display size is 7 inches instead of 7.4 inches. So you lose a couple inches, but it is still really good. And also the battery life isn't as long, though it's still 2 to 8 hours depending on the game, and the more expensive ones are 3 to 12 hours depending on the game, but you could also just plug it in while you're playing. So it is a really good piece of hardware. I'd highly recommend the Steam Deck if you are buying something for a PC gamer and you're not really entirely sure what games to get or anything specifically like that. And I think it's a really good piece of hardware. But if the Steam Deck's too expensive and they are looking like, okay, we need to get something that is a little more PC centric, but it is not crazy expensive, the lemokey brand of keyboards is a very highly recommended brand of keyboards, wireless or wired keyboards. Personally, I prefer wired keyboards, but I know a lot of people like wireless stuff, and they're very customizable. And they also have the tippity tap, the clickety clack of the nice keyboards that a lot of people enjoy when they go really big into custom keyboards. So this would be a pretty good, cheaper alternative to buying something that's relatively expensive, because it is only $66.62, at least the one that I am looking at right now. They can go quite, just like a lot of things, they can go super expensive or relatively cheap. We're going in slightly in the middle here for it. It's got the old big normal bullet points for a programmable keyboard. Like, you can do the programming, it's wired. You have the advanced types of keys and a slick and nice looking keyboard itself, though it does not have the number pad, which I feel like is kind of weird. Keyboards nowadays don't have the number pad, and I like the number pad, but I get it. Most keyboards nowadays don't have it because they want to do the form factor, and most people don't use the number pad anyway, and I get that, but maybe I'm just a little old school in that kind of way. And moving on to some games themselves for the gamers, if you want to get a good game that a lot of people are like, if you're an RPG gamer, I would highly recommend you buying them Claire Obscure Expeditions 33. If you've in any version of the gaming sphere, you've heard of this game. It's super popular. Honestly, I'd be surprised if they didn't already own it. So maybe this is kind of a redundant one, but if they don't own it, this is definitely something you should recommend, or not recommend, sorry, you're buying them a gift. You should be gifting them because it is a literally game of the year this year, most likely, in a lot of ways. And it's also not a hugely exploitive game. Like, the developers are small-time developers, so like you're not have to worry about, supporting big-time corporations if you're worried about that. And It's also not as an expensive game. For instance, we were talking about how the Switch 2 games are $9.99 or $99.96. Claire Obscure on PC at least is $64.99. And even physical editions for the consoles are around that same price as well. So it is not even a full price game considering, and it is 100% worth your time. So if you're the person you're buying something for is a RPG player, this is a must have. And if they don't already have it, because I'm going to be real, they probably already have it. So, but on the small chance they don't, definitely. If they aren't a PC, or no, sorry, not a PC, if they aren't an RPG player, then I would highly recommend the Battlefield 6. Even though it is EA, and sometimes EA can be really weird, and the recent reviews, if you look at recent reviews, it's not really positive, but that's because of the weird Battle Royale mode they announced. But the regular Battlefield 6 multiplayer is still just as good, and kind of a return to form for a lot of people, of the people who enjoy Battlefield-like games. Now, unfortunately, this is a higher priced game. It is $8.99, $89.99. I don't know why I can't say that properly right now, Canadian dollars. So it is on the more expensive side, and I get that. But unfortunately, that's what games cost nowadays. And Battlefield 6 is the return to form that a lot of people have been waiting for Battlefield games. So I really do feel like it's a really good opportunity to get into Battlefield before EA potentially ruins it, unfortunately. And I do have to put that warning that if you do wait a while, EA kind of sometimes ruins their games. But sometimes they don't, because there's still tons of old school Battlefield games that people really love. So it is one of those titles that you kind of have to hope that it doesn't fail in the long term. But unfortunately, when it comes to gaming gifts, you kind of just have to hope that doesn't happen. Now, if the person you're going for isn't a gamer, and you're like, I am a gamer myself, but I want to gift a game to someone who isn't a gamer, who maybe is like, hey, I've heard about video games, I've seen video games, I'm interested in video games, but they're not really a gamer. The game I would recommend you get for them is Dispatch. Dispatch is one of the best games for a non-gamer to play as their first game, because it introduces a lot of things in video games, but it is basically an animated show in the best way possible. There is gameplay in Dispatch, but the story and writing and watching the cutscenes, similar to something like Claire Obscure, but the problem is Claire Obscure Expeditions 33, there's a lot of gameplay. So if you're not an RPG player, it really is a hit or miss if you don't like RPGs. Dispatch, you cannot like management games or RPG-like games like this, and you'd be totally fine. I think this is one of the best non-gamer games, and personally, I would say if you are trying to get someone into gaming, or you are trying to get back into gaming for this person that you're gifting this to, this is one of the perfect games for. And the developers are super nice. They are really down to earth, and the game is $38.99, so it's on the cheaper side for a game. Now, it is a game where once you play it the first time, there are alternative options, and there's dialogue choices and different decisions you can make. But playing it, I would say you could play this game 2, 3, maybe 4 times, and then you'd be pretty much done with the game. But it's kind of like a show, and I would describe it that way as well. When you say, hey, I'm going to play this game, and then 2 years later, I'm going to play it again, and it's going to be I'm going to forget everything that happened, or just only kind of remember some things, and it's going to be great. And I really hope that something like this keeps getting made for the non-gamers, because I think, once again, this is the best game for a non-gamer or someone trying to get back into gaming, or it's like that edge case, where if someone says, hey, this Christmas or whatever like that, I'd like something gaming aside, or you want, honestly, even gamers would love this game, I think, if people especially loved the Telltale games as well. But that is all of my recommendations for this video. Please, if you like this type of video, let me know down in the comments below. Tell me what you liked about it, what you disliked about it. Hit that like button, hit the dislike button if you disliked it, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. If you would like to support me directly, go over to my Patreon at patreon.com/thetechnojelly. You get to join all of these nice people in the screen going above you right now in the credits, as well as join a once a month live stream exclusively to Patreon. If you'd like to follow me on other platforms, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads. Thank you everyone for watching today's video, and I'll see you in another one. Goodbye, everyone.